It hints of 1,000 years and the return of an ancient city and an ancient people, and I was in awe. I sensed I uncovered or was directed to an important and profound message. I didn't even tell Maureen instantly. I sensed I had uncovered or was directed to an important, profound message. When I uncovered the message and I wrote it all out and I could see I was actually reading a message, I didn't tell Maureen. I went upstairs and I looked out the window and I felt really, really nervous because I felt it was a bit of a burden because I felt it was so real. And I would later go downstairs and tell Maureen. Personal clues. Within the 47 words, there's a word called metonymy. And it's fairly close to the middle, which means to relate associated words. For example, the White House said, the White House doesn't speak. What it meant, if the White House said that they're saddened by Ted Kennedy's death today. Well, the White House didn't speak. What they mean is the president said that, or somebody in the White House. So that's what the word metonymy means. It's associated related words. So the White House said really means the White House means the president. The meaning actually describes interpreting the message. So one of the words in the thing is actually how the message is uncovered. And then on top of that, I noticed that metonymy says me, Tony, my. I'm Tony, and it just, because that one word is how associating related words is how I did this. I just thought it was even peculiar with that. And also because of my strong influence by the Greeks, that is a very, very strong Greek word. Meaning actually describes interpreting the message, also reads me, Tony, mine. The word before Methuselah is methotrexate, the drug I take daily for rheumatoid arthritis. That's the drug I take every day, so methotrexate, that's also an MET word. But at some point I had to decide what words were going to go in and out of the message, because aside from meteor, there was meteorologist, meteorological, there were 9 meteor words. So I just took meteor. And all of the drugs that were in there, and I since may have made a mistake by not including those words, because I would like to look back at the words I took out and see if even those words have some meaning, and I'm pretty sure they do. But anything that had to do with chemicals, drugs, were removed, or if I felt there was some duplicity in the words, they were removed, like meteorological. I got it now. Then, confirmation. I noticed that the 3 words before the 47-word message were message, messenger, and Messiah. And the word before met, to return again, they were the word before met, to return again. So I feel I have a message. I go beyond the message, outside the message, and before the message are the words message, messenger, and Messiah in that order. Then I go to the end of the message, the last word being metal. And the last word at the end is mu. M-E-W. Maureen Elizabeth Williams are her initials, my wife. And we used to have a company called Mew. It says in the dictionary it's a cat a sound makes, even though I thought it was meow. But they make a mew sound too. Again, that was a wow moment for me. It's got the initials of my wife at the end of the message. Mew, M-E-W. At the beginning of the message, it's got message, messenger, Messiah. It was like, how much more obvious could this be to me? Noah's grandfather. Later, I also looked up Methuselah. Methuselah, by the way, is where we come to the 1,000 years. When you saw the 1,000 years, when you look up Methuselah in the dictionary, a biblical character noted for living 1,000 years. And that's where we get the 1,000 years out of the message. 969 to be exact. I would later determine that Methuselah, I didn't know this, maybe some of you more biblical people would know this, but when I did my research on Methuselah, Methuselah is not only Noah's ancestor, He's Noah's grandfather. So the grandfather of Methuselah is Noah. Amazingly, my first and only grandson, born less than a year at that time, was also named Noah. Another wow moment for me. My only grandson. And by the way, Met and Noah both totaled 38. And 11. I didn't really go through much in the message. It's in great detail. And I'm not going to go through the message because we frankly don't have the time, but I highly encourage you to read that part. Anna delivers her message. I reflected on the three words before the Met message. Message, messenger, Messiah. And I sensed that these words were important and they seemed to verify the message itself. So I went to the dictionary. Message, a communication. Messenger, one who bears a communication in writing, in speech, or by signals. Messiah, the expected king, and deliverer of the Jews, or Jesus. Numerologically speaking, the total for Messiah is 74. That is also the same number for Jesus and cross. If you do their numbers, they also both total 74. The reference Messiah is rarely used in the Bible. I reference Messiah in a book I have several different study resources. I have what's called a Bible study dictionary. And I noticed a flagged page earmarking Anna. So there was a little flag sticking out right on the word Anna in my Bible dictionary. And I remembered when I put it there. I placed it there over 10 years ago when I was building a list of holy names and places that began with the two letters A and N. And by the way, that in the appendix at the back of the book, I found 80 people important people with the letters A and spiritual people. So that's what drew me to Anna. So who was Anna? Previously, I didn't care. The only thing I was concerned about is she's one of those people I need to put in my book that had A-N in her name. She's a prophetess in Jerusalem. When the child Jesus was brought to the temple to be presented before the Lord, she declared him to be the Messiah. Didn't know that. While looking up Messiah, deterred by Anna, who was revealed as the person who declared Jesus as a Messiah. Again, this seemed more than a coincidence. Every time I would go somewhere, it would bring me back to where I was. It's almost like confirming everything I'm doing. Then I did the numbers. I'm a fanatic for that. I have what's called an alphabet chart. Anna, I did the numbers and letters for Anna. Numerological number for Anna is 30. That's the same number as the Bible, is 30. It's also the same as Dave, which is 30. And I also noted that Anna, A-N-N-A, represents the first two letters of my children. A-N for Anthony, and A for Natalie. It's my only two children. Anna, ancient biblical woman from Jerusalem. Amazingly, the number totals for ancient and woman both total 66. She's an ancient woman, and they both total 66. There are 66 books in the Bible. And the geographic totals for Jerusalem are 66.6. You take